Yeah, g'day everyone, and welcome to your Sunday night Speedway fix here at the Dirtshop. I'm Steve Emmett, Dirty NZ, and back with you again to host this evening. Tonight we are heading down to Woodford Glen Speedway to race for the Canterbury Champs and the Saloon Super Cup. Um, Good to see everyone sort of tuning in already. That's a good start to the evening. Um, but yeah, Woodford Glen, they've just celebrated their 50-year anniversary down there this weekend. So it's quite fitting that we are running tonight's round there as well. Yeah, so congratulations to the whole team down there and everybody that's been involved with the Woodford Glen Speedway Association down there over the 50-year period. We've got members here at the Dirtshop that have been drivers down there, that current drivers down there, track preparators, you name it. So yeah, no, it's awesome milestone, and it's good to see another track around the country sort of reach that mark. So yeah, before we get into tonight, we'll touch on the points. So this is how they sit after 5 rounds. The last round being up there at Wakaraka Park for the North Islands last week. As you can see there, we've got our man Evan Tyador sitting at the top of the table in the overall series. Not too far behind is the 4S of Peter Wilson. You can never count him out after seeing what he done down there in Beachlands and got the 3-peat for the South Islands. Sean Harold sitting there in 3rd place with Brad Lane making a bit of a comeback in the late stages of the series, so he's sort of catching up there, may still squeak in for a podium in the overall series. Shane Hawkins isn't too far behind, and Zane Riddick there as well. He might be a little bit too far back, but it all depends on who has a good night over these last 2 weeks. As you can see there, we'll scroll down, we've got Dwayne Martin and Jeff McConey tied on points there. Ryan Cooksley, he had an awesome start to the series, and then he's sorry about that, he's kind of dropped off a little bit. And then we've got Pete Taylor, Liam Pluck, and Caleb Ashton there, along with Daniel Curran, Brad Wright, Chris Bailey are the other ones that have taken part. So that's where the overall standings are at the moment. And what I will do now, because tonight also goes for the 3rd round of the South Island Tri-Series that we're doing. So if we can somehow share that as well. Sorry people, where are we? Tri-Series. So here we go for this one here. As you can see, Evan Tydor sits top of the table as well for that one. Peter Wilson's sitting there in 2nd again, not too far behind. Zane Riddick this time in 3rd, ahead of Sean Harold, Brad Lane, Ryan Cooksley, Dwayne Martin, Shane Hawkins, Pete Taylor, and Caleb Ashton there rounding out the top 10, with the other drivers sitting there just outside. So that's how it sits. Evan Tydor picked up the Pro Dirt Micro Series within this, so he's already picked that one up. He's on track to pick up the main series, and yeah, it looks like he's on track to get the South Island one as well. So Pete's got to take it to him tonight and try and get one of those victories from him. But yeah, so it looks like the guys are just about to go green. It's 8:30, so when they tick over at any moment, we will do the same. That's what we're here for tonight, the Canterbury Champs and the Super Cup. And the Super Cup feature race tonight is proudly sponsored by NZ Dirt Track Racing. Good to have them on board, thanks to Scotty Tennant and the 808C Superstock. He was supposed to be with us throughout the course of the series and tonight for this event, but yeah, it's a bit of a shout out. bit of a shout out from Scotty to the NZ Dirt Track, as they are one of his sponsors in real life, and yeah, just sort of our way of giving back and saying thanks to those that support our drivers and support our sport that we all love and like to travel around the countryside witnessing week in, week out. So that's that is good to see. They're still not quite ready, are they? Still not quite ready. So what we'll do, no, they are, they've just flicked over, so I will get rid of this off the screen and go to them, and we should be just about into it. We'll get some sound for the cars as well while we're at it. Don't need my camera or anything anymore. So we got Sparky off row 1, Dwayne Martin with Shane Hawkins, Brad Wright in the 8M, along with the 5P of Evan Tidal, row 2. Uh, 4S of Peter Wilson, newbie, along with Zane Riddick, row 3. Chris Bailey, row 4, with Sean Harold. Alex Curran is making an appearance tonight in the 16R Hypermax, so that's good to have him on board next to the 15A of Jeff McConey. But there goes green. Who's out the front there? We've got Hawkins on the outside line, but Evan Tidal has managed to get an awesome start somehow, and he's right there on his back bumper already. Zane Riddick sitting there in third, but he's under pressure from Brad Wright on the low line. The wider surface here at Woodford Glen should provide some good action tonight. Camera shot wasn't too great, that one, sorry about that. Sean Harold sneaks through on Zane Riddick, but here comes the 4S of Pete Wilson, head of the 15A of Jeff McCaney there. He was touch and go just before racing whether he was going to take the track or not, but it's good to see him out there. Here's the 16R Aqua Plus Hypermac of Alex Curran making his debut, so it's good to have him out there tonight. Unfortunately, his brother Daniel Curran's not with us tonight. Oh, Jeff McCaney into the wall there. Brad Lane crosses up as well on the back, so that's a bit all on there. Back to the front, Shane Hawkins he's holding off Evan Tidal. In fact, he's pulled a gap, so he is going strong at the moment in the 6th dub. So hopefully you're tuning in there, Lacey, and you've got his back, because he looks like he could be on for a checkered flag in this one. It's well overdue, that's for sure. He's been taking part just about every week, but I think is yet to claim a checker, if I'm not mistaken. The man behind, he certainly claimed enough through the course of the series, so, and he's on track for everything, as I alluded to earlier. Sean Harold in the 12P, he's made his way up to 3rd place, and he's got a bit of a gap now over Zane Riddick in the 61 dub, but it's good to have Sean out there. He's in the title chase, podium chase as well, so for the overall series. He's been a bit of an underdog through the whole thing, but he's picked up some good race wins and that along the way, so that's been awesome to see. Of course, the Green Machine 61 dub of Zane Riddick there, having a good outing on the weekend down there in Palmerston North for the Wellington Wildcats. So it's good to have him on board with us this evening to mix it up a little bit in the Super Saloons rather than the Super Stocks. As he has a battle there, Len Pluck is back on hand with us tonight in the 12C. It's good to have a local there on track. There's a few of them that were supposed to be with us, but Len's the only one that's turned out, so good on you, mate. It's always good to have you on board, and yeah, have that Christchurch represented out there on the track. Back to the front, Shane Hawkins has still got the gap and is walking away with it now. Lap 11 of 15 as he goes through turn 3 and 4, the tight end of the circuit. He looks like he's well and truly out in the lead and quite comfortable there, with Evan Tidal second, Sean Harold still in third. Brad Lane, what's he up to? He's sort of mixing around the mid pack there, staying out of trouble a bit now. after a few cross-ups early on. Chris Bailey's back on hand this evening in the 56M. It's always good to have him along with us, as is the 7B of Dwayne Martin. He looks like he might be having a few problems there as he's getting lapped at the moment, just sort of pulling off to the side to let the faster cars through. We'll go back to the front now, as we've only got just over a lap to run. The Shane Hawkins, as he goes through 3 and 4, coming up for the white flag now. It looks like he's just going to walk away with this one. He had his work cut out for him off the start. ET put the pressure on, but he somehow managed to make that thing work, and the 6th dub Corvette's going to come home for the race 1 win down there for the Canterbury champs. Awesome to see. Evan Tydor second and Sean Harold home in 3rd. We'll stick with Shane. Hopefully he comes around and grabs his checker flag. Sure enough, there he goes. Good on you, mate. How's that one, Lacey? Do you enjoy that? Yes, you do. I see the comments there as he throws in a few doughies for good measure. Good on him. That'll mean a lot to him, actually, picking that one up. So we'll cross over and get some results up on screen now. So where are we for that? Want the race results, don't we? There we go. So 6th dub, Shane Hawkins comes home first place ahead of 5p of Evan Tydor, 12p of Sean Harold ahead of the 4S of Peter Wilson. Zane Riddick home in 5th place in the Green Machine. Jeff McCaney recovers a bit and comes home in 6th place ahead of Brad Lane, the 119 Rocket, and 56M of Chris Bailey. The 16R of Alex Curran home in 9th ahead of Dwayne Martin in 10th. And then we've got the we should have the next 4 there. No, what's going on? There we go. So there we go. Len Pluck home in 11th with Pete Taylor, Brad Wright and Ryan Cookley all having DNFs in that one. So that is not what any of them would have wanted, to be perfectly honest. So we'll flick over to race 1 at Waikaraka and how they were last week up there for the North Island title. As they started off the grid, it was Chris Bailey and Len Pluck leading the way, Ryan Cooksley and Evan Tydor in behind. The racing up there was pretty hectic. There was a bit of barging going on, but there was also some good 3 wide action at times. And as you can see there, the 3 Hypermac Mustangs going hard at it in the Heat 1 up there at Waikaraka Park. Looking on from the 7B of Dwayne Martin, that's how the field was, and yeah, how tightly contested that racing was up there for the North Island title. Jeff McCaney was the only Auckland car out on track, so it was good to have him out there as he runs the evenings for us as the admin behind the scenes. And of course the 4S there of Pete Wilson hanging out on the outside line. But it was the 5P of Evan Tydor that came through for the race 1 victory up there at Waikaraka Park, with the photos this week coming courtesy of Petrol Fumes, our mate Dave, keeping his memory going, of course. So looks like they are getting into race 2, so we'll just quickly throw this back up on screen while I get myself sorted, and we will be into it. There we go, guys are back on track now. I think Jeff just needs to change the time of day, if I'm not mistaken. Get some timing up there. So how we're looking for this one, we've got the 56M of Chris Bailey off the front row with the 12P of Sean Harold. Row 2, we've got Alex Curran and Jeff McCaney. Ryan Cooksley in the 84P with Brad Lane on the outside. Pete Taylor and Liam Pluck next row back. Dwayne Martin, Shane Hawkins, race 1 winner there. And then we've got Brad Wright, Evan Tidor, Pete Wilson and Zane Riddick off the back. But they go green. Sean jumps out to an early start. Chris Bailey, Jeff is in the wall. That's not what he wants to start race 2. Alex Curran looks like he's got a good thing going there on the low line, trying to sneak through up into second place, and he does. Chris Bailey goes out wide. Brad Lane still working the low line. The flame shooting out the side of the 16 Hypermac there looks pretty cool. Oh, Chris Bailey into the wall. Brad Lane sneaks through. Jeff McConey has recovered somehow from that first lap incident, so he's made his way back up into 4th. Now he's putting the pressure on Brad Lane for 3rd. So that's a good comeback from Jeff McConey, that's for sure. Bit of a battle pack here with Ryan Cooksley, Pete Taylor, Zane Riddick, and the other Wellington car, Shane Hawkins, on the outside line there. They are going for it. Look at this. Oh, that is an awesome battle pack. Oh, there's a bit of action going on, bit of bumper work. You can almost mistake them for stock cars going on at the moment. We go back, Pete Wilson's just sitting there looking at how he can get through. He's trying to put the pressure on Evan Tidor, so these two are charging not only for the overall series but for the South Island series, and Evan just got one up on him in that previous race, so Pete will be looking to make a comeback and get those valuable points. Just had to back out of that one though. Back up the front, Sean Harold, he's got a comfortable lead now, lap 7 of 15, but it is the debutant Alex Curran. Oh, wrong timing there as he just clips the wall. Jeff McConey now comes through to claim 2nd spot in the 15A, but Alex is fighting back on the low line, so here we go. Oh, Jeff just gets forced out a little bit wide and Alex gets the spot back. Brad Lane is now making ground, coming up from 4th spot with Pete Taylor in behind him. Ryan Cooksley a little bit back. Here's the battle pack gone. Zane Riddick, the first of the Wellington cars. Ahead of Shane Hawkins. Oh, Zane just clips the wall. A little bit of that. The series contenders though, Evan Tidor and Pete Wilson, seem to be still going at it. At the back end of the pack, currently sitting 9th and 10th, so they are finding it hard to get through the field this evening. Everyone's like really quick and on pace from the looks of it, especially this man, this 12p of Sean Harold. What a gap he has got now out the front, and he's going to probably walk home for a comfortable victory and much needed points in the series as well. That is going to help his cause to retain a podium spot, not only in the overall series but also the South Island Tri-Series. Alex Curran is still in a heated battle there with Jeff McConey for 2nd spot. Jeff is really putting on pressure. A little bit of a bump in action there going on. Oh, Brad Lane is now coming into the thick of it. Look at that 119 rocket on the outside. He is now right on the back bumper of the 15A as he just clips the wall. That might not help him. And Pete Taylor looks like he's coming in with the tow rope as well. So it's the last lap now. Sean Harold, as he goes down the back straight into turn 3 and 4. It looks like he has got a comfortable win here in Heat 2 for the Canterbury Champs down there at Woodford Glen Speedway. Good on you, mate. And it is the 16R that comes home ahead of the 15A Jeff McConey. So what a race that was. That was yeah, that was awesome. Bit of action going on there. Sean's got to try and keep it off the wall when he goes to collect his flag, but there you go. Another flag shot for the 12p coming up next week. He's had a few of them this league, and as I said, he's been a bit of an underdog, so yeah, no, good on him. So we'll now flick that off, get some results up on the screen, And there we have it, the 12p of Sean Harold home in first place ahead of Alex Curran, 16R. Jeff McConey, 15A, home in third ahead of Brad Lane, the regular 1NZ modified driver. Rabbit is Pete Taylor, home in fifth place ahead of Ryan Cooksley, the other Palmy car there. The Wellingtonians, Zane Riddick and Shane Hawkins, home in seventh and eighth, with Evan Tydor and Pete Wilson rounding out the top 10 there for their efforts. Brad Wright home in 11th, Chris Bailey home in 12th, Liam Pluck 13th, with the only DNF going the way of the 7B Dwayne Martin in that one, unfortunately. So as we flick over now to Heat 2 at Waikareka, it was a bit of a messy start up there, a couple of restarts actually. This was the second restart, and unfortunately it was a 7B of Dwayne Martin that got crossed up in front of the field and caused a bit of a bottleneck as they came through turn 1 and 2 in that opening lap. And then it was the 12R of Daniel Curran, who's not with us tonight. He was sort of having a good battle there with Shane Hawkins and Ryan Cooksley throughout the course of the race. The two 8s came together, but it was the 8P and Pete Taylor and 8M of Brad Wright, and it was the 8M of Brad Wright that came off second best in this instance, and ended up the wall with a DNF in Heat 2. And then you go, there's 12P, the last race winner, leading a bit of a pack there with Jeff McConey, Evan Tydor and Zane Riddick in the background, giving chase as they came through 3 and 4. But it was Pete Taylor, the 8P, that came home with a race 2 win up there at Waikareka Park for the North Island title. So while that is going on, I'll flick this back up on screen. Actually, no, what I'll do is I'll flick this one up on screen. Rush Sim Racing. If you haven't been in there and you haven't supported Craig Chatfield and the team there at Rush Sim Racing in Auckland, please do so. It's tough times out there at the moment, and yeah, it's a great facility. They've got top of the line equipment, motion simulators. They don't just do stock cars. They do a wide array of sim racing from V8 supercars. You name it. So, go in there and support a good family-owned Speedway, family-operated business. Coming into Christmas time, they do corporate bookings, group bookings. There is a bar on site as well. So, as well as the ice skating rink downstairs. And that it's in a great venue. So if you haven't done so yet, go and check them out, support a good business, and it's a good cause heading into Christmas and the New Year. So now I'll flick it back to this while I get some points real quick, because I am lacking in that department and the guys are probably well ahead of me. So I will just do this really quickly, people, and get it sorted. Hawkins had the race 1 victory. That one was right. And then we had Sean Harold that had the race 2. Race 2. So if I can share this and get it up on screen. So there we have it. Sean Harold sits top of the table at the moment for the Canterbury Champs on 58 points. Shane Hawkins and Jeff McConey tied for second there on 53. Evan Tydor, Alex Curran and Brad Lane all tied at the moment on 51. Zane Riddick 1 point back on 50. Pete Wilson 48. Chris Bailey there on 42. Then we've got Liam Pluck, Pete Taylor, Ryan Cooksley, Dwayne Martin and Brad Wright rounding out the 14. But man, that top 6 anywhere of that top 6, and it's pretty much Sean Harold's title to lose at the moment with that 5-point gap. That's a pretty big margin going into a third final with a small field that we've got. So yes, how good would it be to see Sean pick up an overall series or round win heading into the New Zealand? So that'll be awesome for him. So that's how the points stack up. And while we wait now, we will give a plug to our man Blake and Jennifer, Blake Speedway. Once again, the man's doing the miles around the countryside, recording the Speedway meetings that people can't get to. I think he's done 3 meetings this weekend alone, starting off at Paradise Valley the other day, and then making his way through to Bay Park last night, and then attending Waharoa today. So there's his Facebook link, his YouTube link there. Go and check him out if you don't already. And see what's happened over the weekend, and the meetings that you couldn't attend, because most oftentimes than not, Blake would have captured all the action and that from those events. So we're still waiting for the guys to flick through now for the third race. So Krusty must be going through the points with the guys on Discord. So that's our calendar and where we're at. So as you can see there, we are Woodford Glen this evening, and we've only got one event left on the calendar for the 2024 season here at the Dirtshop, and that is the big one, the New Zealand title next week at Kiki Speedway, and the King Country Champs to top that off. I've just been informed tonight that will be a 30-lap feature there for the King Country Champs, so a bit of endurance there for the guys. It's going to be a good one to watch, and the track's had a bit of rework over the off season, and should provide some really good racing for this New Zealand title coming up there next week. So we're looking forward to that. It has been, between this and the QTR Stock Car E-Series that we had beforehand, it's been a very busy period, or busy year for us here at the Dirtshop, I should say. And we're thankful and we're grateful to get through it, and for everybody that's tuned in and watched along the way. We look forward to coming back next year with a few new other series going on, and we haven't announced that yet, what we're going to be doing, but we will be back, that's for sure. And thanks to last week's feature sponsor, Ups For You, we now have a new rig to use for streaming and that, so we should hopefully be able to put on a better show. So the guys are going green again now, so I should be able to flick back to them and get this underway. Alright, so as they just changed the time of day there, we'll get some timing and other bits and pieces up on screen as we do. So here we go for this one, the third and final. We've got Pete Taylor off the front row with Zane Riddick, Pete Wilson and Brad Lane in behind them, Len Pluck and Ryan Cooksley on row 3, Evan Tidor and Jeff McConey row 4, Brad Wright and Alex Curran there. And as they go green coming out, Zane Riddick looks like he's on the outside line with a good start, just out of the camera shot there, but Pete Taylor gets some drive coming out of 1 and 2, and he sort of just walks away. Oh no, bugger. So we've got a restart there, unfortunately. That's what happens when we have a restart. The cars sort of jump out and do odd things. So while that's going on, we'll give another plug to somebody else. Troy Adamson, Racer's Edge. It's always good to have Troy involved with anything that we do. Formerly Palmy Superstock Teams, as most people will know, but yes, he's rebranded now as the Racer's Edge, and he is back on social media platforms, sharing his photos and that of the past, and gearing up for a big season ahead when he comes back to New Zealand to cover the major titles in the not too distant future now, as we coming into that silly season just after Christmas, with a lot of the New Zealand titles and that coming up. And obviously, you know, you've got the 240s and whatnot in early January or mid-January, so there's going to be a lot of action happening around the countryside for Troy and his cameras to capture, and he's got a few other things on the go as well that you want to keep an eye out for, as I believe he might be doing a few little giveaways and interviews along the way as well. We've still got shirts from the QTR Stock A series up for grabs. All of those are still available on the printmighty.co.nz/dirtynz, I believe it is. The link is on our Facebook page. So we've got all the drivers tees there from the QTR Stock A series. We've got the Dirtshop Creations range as well. That's a few pages back, and there's also a few alternative ones there that guys have requested with the print on the back of the shirts rather than the front. But all of those designs there, as you can see, were courtesy of Tanya Gillam. Put in a massive effort to get those done. So and as always, she's a big help behind the scenes. So once again, we'll give thanks to Tanya for everything that she does for the Dirtshop. But they're back into it, so we'll flick it back on. We are heat 3, yes. So take 2 now. They don't get another restart. This is it. They only get 1 restart per race. So just because it takes too long to go through that process and keep doing it. So if something happens now, it's just a racing incident and it goes through a different judicial process. But as they go green this time around, Brad Lane looks like he clipped the wall, but he's hooking up on the outside. Zane Riddick got a good run this time, and he's jumped out to the lead. Pete Taylor's in second, so he'll be a bit gutted to lose that lead that he had in the first attempt. But Pete Wilson comes through into third. So, there that sunstrike there. Pete crosses up. That's not what he wants. We've got Evan Tidor on the infield. Oh no. We've had a full restart again. So that must have been a major, that one, for another restart to happen, because that goes against our protocol. So sorry about that, people. We are stuck with me just rambling again in the meantime. But yeah, as I touched on earlier, the guys at Rush Sim Racing, go and support them. Obviously they run our Dirtshop Superstock mod up there, with all the Auckland All-Stars team available, so you can go in there, select your favourite driver from the Auckland squad, and get out on the track and give each other a bit of a bash along the way. They've got 4 full motion sim rigs there, and as I said, they don't just do stock cars and the Speedway stuff. They do V8 supercars and that, as you can see through a few of the other little pictures there. They got triple monitor setups, the whole handbrake system and everything, the hydraulic motion and every rig, and yeah, great fun. It certainly makes you work up a sweat, but it's thoroughly enjoyable at the same time. So if you haven't gone and checked the guys out at Rush, do so. Check out their website, their Facebook page, and yeah, if you're looking for a booking, get in touch with the guys or Craig Chatfield, and they can point you in the right direction to host an event. They're always doing specials and that, so yeah, like I said before, support a good Speedway family business and get behind them. So we'll go for the third time lucky now. hopefully this is the last time that they have a restart as the pace car starts to pull off. They haven't changed the time of day, or they have, yes they have. Right, so we got as far back down the grid as Brad Wright and Alex Curran, I believe. So back behind them we had the 6th dub of Shane Hawkins and 12p of Sean Harold. So the Heat 1 and Heat 2 winner at the back of the field, with Dwayne Martin and Chris Bailey rounding out 14. So we'll go back to the front for the start. Third time goes green. Zane Riddick gets the jump on the outside. Oh, we got the bad camera shot for this one. Sorry about that. Zane is on the outside line, but Pete Taylor is putting the pressure on something wicked now. Oh, that's not what we want there. Pete Wilson crosses up. Oh, it's messy in this one. The guys have sort of lost their mind a little bit from the looks of it. But got a bit of a pack there now. Ryan Cooksley, Jeff McConey in the background, just copping a bit of attention there. Ryan Cooksley, however, looks like he's managing to stay out of it. Pete Taylor has got out to a good lead out the front there this time around in the 8P. But he's being chased down by the 4S of Pete Wilson and Zane Riddick. They're struggling on the outside line now. He looks to be. He's still holding third at the moment. Evan Tidal is at the back trying to make his way through the traffic, but as I alluded to before, they're all very quick and very consistent on this track, so it is hard to pass unless you're really willing to throw it deep into the corners and try that outside line, which Evan's trying to do. But obviously the 16 of Alex Curran is a very hard car to pass at any time, so he's certainly given a good go though as the 5P. And you see why he's the series leader at the moment when he's committing to the outside line like that. That's quite impressive actually to see that. And they're catching up to Brad Lane through the process as well. Oh, there we go. Brad Lane just gets a little bit involved and a little bit in the way. Back to the front. Pete Wilson is reining in Pete Taylor. So Pete Wilson in the Gold Point Hypermac, he needs those points. He needs those points going for the overall series and the Tri-Series. Anything that he can get at the moment is going to go in his favour. So he is trying hard to catch that 8P, that's for sure. Zane Riddick looks like he's in a bit of a battle. Yes, he is, with Ryan Cooksley as they trade a bit of paint. Jeff McConey comes into the thick of it and they start going 3 wide through turn 1 and 2 as they come up into 3 and 4. Lap 10 of 15. Oh, look at that. What a shot. That is awesome. Awesome racing by these guys. Oh, Jeff and Ryan have a bit of a coming together. Zane gets the gap, pulls away a bit. Go back. Alex Curran is in a bit of a battle now with Shane Hawkins. Evan Tidal has dropped off the back a little bit from that one. As we're going into lap 12 or 15 now. Back to the front. Pete Wilson is still trying to catch Pete Taylor. Picked up 2 race wins last week. Did the 8P of Rabbit, so he's on for another checkered flag at the moment if the Gold Point Hypermac can't reel him in. It looks like he might be a bit hard pressed at this stage. He's sort of keeping that gap pretty steady as they go through 1 and 2. Must be pretty hard driving out there at the moment with the sun setting and getting in their eyes, and there's a lot of effects that come into play during this, and that's why the guys love getting involved and doing it. So we're in last lap now, last corner, 3 and 4. Oh, Pete Taylor crosses up a little bit, not enough though, and it's the 8P that comes away with the win. ahead of 4S of Pete Wilson, and it's the 61 dub of Zane Riddick that comes home third place. So it took a few attempts, but we got there in the end. They managed to get the full 15 laps done. There we go, the checkered flag. Pete Taylor goes around. You can see the sunstrike as they come through 1 and 2 there, or out of turn 1 I should say, and into turn 3 there's a bit of sunstrike as you've seen there. So there we go, there we have it. We'll get some results up on screen now, and then we'll get some points. So it was the 8P, there we go, of Pete Taylor that comes home ahead of Pete Wilson. Zane Riddick home in third ahead of Jeff McConey. Had a good run tonight, Jeff did. The 84P of Ryan Cooksley home in fifth ahead of Alex Curran. Shane Hawkins home in seventh. Evan Tidor, it's quite rare to see him at the back of the field this series, so he's having a bit of a rough run tonight as far as his standards go. Coming home in 8th ahead of Brad Wright, 9th, and then Sean Harold there rounds out the top 10. And then there's the back markers there. We got Brad Lane. It's hard calling Brad Lane a back marker, but there he is in 11th spot. Chris Bailey home in 12th. Liam Pluck, the man from Christchurch, home in 13th. And it was the 7B of Dwayne Martin that came home 14th in that one. So we will just get some points now, and we will see where we stand for these overalls. Wow. Wow. Okay. So we don't have a runoff, but wow, this is a victory that I am very happy to see. So I'm going to share the screen, and there we have it. So we've got a clear-cut podium this evening, and it is the 15A of Jeff McConey that comes home in first place. 1 point ahead of Sean Harold in second, and Zane Riddick in the 61 dub comes home third. The 4S of Pete Wilson and Shane Hawkins tied there for fourth, 1 point behind Zane. And then 1 point back from them is Alex Curran in the 16R. Evan Tidor sits there in 7th, 74. Brad Lane, 71. Chris, 56. That's Chris Bailey on 61. And then we've got Liam Pluck and Pete Taylor. Race 3 winner there on 56. Ryan Cooksley, Brad Wright, and Dwayne Martin rounds it out. But what a victory. That is awesome for Jeff McConey to come through and take that round win. He wasn't even going to race tonight. Before racing, he was saying that he's got a massive migraine, and that he could barely see straight, and he's managed to come out this evening and win. So good on you, mate. That is awesome. And as I alluded to earlier, he runs the server and that in the background while I'm doing the streaming and that throughout the course of the night. He does the points tables and that as well to read out to the guys on Discord. So yeah, he's got a lot going on. So to be able to juggle all that and then also go out there and win on track for the evening is bloody awesome. So good on you, Jeff. That's awesome and well deserved victory. Happy to see that one. So right, we'll get into Heat 3 from Waikareka. And there we go. There's our winner of tonight's Canterbury Champs, the 15A of Jeff McConey, on screen as you can see him there, leading the pack in front of Ryan Cooksley and Shane Hawkins. 4S having a bit of a battle there with the 12P of Sean Harold and Brad Lane sneaking in through there. It was, as you can see from the shots, it was really close racing, really tight racing up there at Waikareka. Bit of a tighter circuit compared to what they are on tonight. But yeah, it provided some really good action, some good racing. And then it's a 7B and 56M of Chris Bailey there side by side, going through turn 3 and 4, I believe that one was. And it was a 61 dub, same Riddick that came home with the race 3 win, and I believe the North Island title along with that win. So yeah, awesome to see that green machine out on track. And right, we're getting into the feature now. So tonight's feature proudly brought to you by NZ Dirt Track Racing. Go and check out your local stockist for the latest issue. That's out with SVG on the cover there, and yeah, the team there that's been running since 1986, the magazine. So it's good to have their support, and they're the longest running New Zealand Speedway editorial. So there's everybody here that's watching is bound to have picked up a copy over the years along the way. So yeah, it's a good Christmas stocking filler. So yeah, be sure to pick up a copy, and yeah, thanks to them for getting on board, and thanks to Scotty Tennant and the Superstock 808C for nominating them as well, for getting on board. They shared our post earlier in the week, so hopefully a few of you have joined in to watch, courtesy of that. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on here, but we've got a runoff of some sort going on. So unless I got the points wrong, this doesn't make much sense, to be honest, but they are into lap 3 or 4, Alex Curran and Shane Hawkins. It looks like Alex Curran might come away with this one as they come across for the white flag. 1 lap to go. Yeah, looks like Alex, unless he crosses it up here, has got it. So not too sure what that was about, actually. Not too sure what that was about at all. Looking at that, they shouldn't have even been tied on points. So yes, not too sure at all what that one was about. It's a little bit confusing to me. Unless I really stuff those points up. So that could be on me, people. Sorry about that. It was a bit confusing for me as well, as we trying to figure out what's going on. So now they should be getting ready for Heat 3, which, yeah, is for the feature race. Sorry. So that is for the Super Saloon Super Cup tonight down there at Woodford Glen, courtesy of the NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine. So it's going to be a 20 lap feature. And yeah, as I alluded to at the start of the show, it's good to be racing out of Woodford Glen tonight, given their 50-year anniversary this weekend. That was actually completely and utterly unplanned from our point of view. That we just scheduled this round this weekend, and it happened to coincide, so it was meant to be. It was meant to be. Who have we got watching this evening? Jackie, Lacey, as always, Sharon Riddick. Good to have you tuning in. Good evening, Dirt. Stephen Palmer, good to have you watching, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Wayne Otten, good to have you tuning in, mate. Yeah, Evening Sir Dirt and Witchy Poo. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Hopefully, hopefully everything's been coming through okay, sound wise, and that. It has been a very confusing and different night tonight as far as things have been going with the restarts and what have you. I may actually just go into Discord quickly and see what that was about and see if we can find out. Hey guys, what
Hey.
what was
I
that
think-
runoff about?
Well, according to my points, there was a run off for third.
Okay. Because I have a completely different set of points then, if that's the case.
Did Krusty win or not, Dirt? Because we think Krusty's might be jerry-rigged.
So,
He won.
so I had Krusty winning by 1 point.
Yeah.
And then I had Sean
Yeah.
in second.
Yeah.
And I had Zane Riddick in third. And then I had Newbie and Hawkins tied in fourth. And Alex was sixth, 1 point back.
Oh, I'm taking Krusty's results, bro. I had a runoff and I won it, so I'm bloody
Well,
taking it.
I can.
I may have
Maybe
very well stuffed
mine
my
not
points
count.
up.
Yeah, we'll have to deal with that after the show.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's all right. I may very well have stuffed it up at my end too. So
'Cause
that's all right.
looking at mine, that kind of mine matches where it should be.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with yours for now then. So how did you have it finishing?
I won it. Rooster was 1 point behind in second. Then a tie for third, which is Hawkins and Alex.
And Alex. Okay. And Alex just won the runoff. So
Alex won the runoff.
I'm gutted it wasn't bloody
Zane-
videoed there.
Zane was fifth.
okay. Alrighty. Oh well. Either way, congrats on winning the thing, right? The round, mate. That was bloody awesome.
Yeah,
I think
a little bit shocked.
Pete's just saying go, boys. He's probably not coming back.
Okay.
Okay. Just go when you're ready, mate.
Okay, mate.
Right, so there we have it. It could have very well been my mistake there. So as they gear up for the Super Cup feature race now, we should be getting into it very shortly. Bit of confusion there, mainly on my part, I should say. Shout out to Highmark Central, Sean Blowman and the team down there in the Naki. Obviously, if you need your warrant and servicing and all that kind of thing leading into Christmas and the silly season, go and see the boys down there, Highmark Central, and see if they can book you in and get that work done you need to get back out on the road and be all legal. Once again, shout out to Shaz's Boutique, another feature race sponsor that we've had throughout the course of the series. It was awesome to have Shaz's Boutique on board. As always, Sharon tunes in from week to week, and the whole family down there in the Naki. So yeah, it is awesome to have their support and what we're doing here at the Dirtshop. And of course, you know, the page is still there. Go and like it. Go and share it. There is over 20 years worth of archive footage of Speedway drags, off-roading, burnouts, you name it. So, you know, go, just go and like and share the page and follow it and get in behind it. Yeah. So they are on track now. We need to get rid of that. Right, bit of flame coming out the side there. I've even tied all. Lights are on around the track. So we've got the Dwayne Martin out on the front row with Shane Hawkins, Brad Wright in behind row 2, Evan Tidal with the flame coming out. Oh, it's stuck on. No, it's gone out now. And then we've got Pete Wilson and Zane Riddick there on the next row back. So we'll go back to the front as they come round 3 and 4 for the green. There we go. Shane Hawkins jumps out to the early lead on that outside. That camera shot is shocking for a first lap. I might have to look at changing that. There we go. Dwayne Martin seems like he's having a bit of a shocker there off the start. Shane Hawkins has got a good gap now over Evan Tidal, sitting there in second place. Brad Wright in third, with Zane Riddick breathing down his neck in fourth. Pete Wilson looking to sneak up the inside there, going through 3 and 4. Not quite. Sean Harold sitting there in behind in the 12P. And then the 15A Canterbury champ, Jeff McConey, ahead of Alex Curran there, who just won the runoff. Oh, Shane Hawkins still out the front, but Evan Tidal is reeling him in. And as we've seen in last week's feature race, Shane got out to a great start, but then his tyres fell away and he got reeled in by Pete Taylor and Evan in the later stages. So could that be the case for the Wellingtonian tonight? Good to have ADM of Brad Wright on board with us again. The Manawatu champ from a few weeks back. He has really bad runs sometimes, this man. As you've seen last week at Waikaraka, he had the ADM up the wall and DNF, and I think he had DNF in race 1 tonight as well. So yes, he does have a bit of bad luck at times. We've got the 4S of Pete Wilson and Zane Riddick still going at it, back in the pack. Lap 7 of 20. Sean Harold trying to catch up to the back of them with Jeff McConey not far behind. Field looks like it's a little bit spread out now. There must have been a little bit of a kerfuffle or something go on as Alex Curran is at the back of the field with Chris Bailey. Liam Pluck. Oh, Liam Pluck going up the inside there of Chris Bailey, trying to put the pass on. Go boy. Get that 12C humming. Oh, he feeds Chris the left rear and he gets the spot done. Hey, that must be the southern way of doing it, but good on you, mate. The green-eyed monster getting out there, still doing it. Alright, we go back to the front. Oh, and just as Evan is putting on the pressure on Shane Hawkins for the race lead, he's on the low line. Shane's still getting the drive out high on that outside line, but the pack is condensing now with Pete Wilson catching up to the back of Brad Wright as well. So this is going to be a good end to the feature race from the looks of things. Evan Tidal now just gets the nose in front of Shane Hawkins. Shane's still getting the drive on that outside line. This is good side-by-side action between these two. A lot of respect being shown and racing room given. This is how we want to see racing unfolding, as ET just sort of gets the nose back in front. Shane will get the drive. There you go, coming out onto the straight. So it is neck and neck. There's nothing in it. Consistency is the key with steering inputs and throttle control and everything in these sort of moments. Brad Wright, he is right in there. Pete Wilson looks like he's thrown out the tow rope as well. So this is going to be a massive battle at the back end of this race. I don't want to shy away from this, because this is just a good fight going on at the moment. This is what we want for the Super Saloon Super Cup down there at Woodford Glen Speedway on the 50th anniversary weekend. Shane Hawkins, he's now got a little bit of an edge over Evan, but Evan's not giving up. He's still trying that low line, and he's coming right back into the fold. 5 laps remaining as they come round 3 and 4 again. Oh, this is awesome racing from these two. Pete Wilson sitting there ahead of Zane Riddick. Jeff McConey still there. Yeah, the rest of the field is pretty spread out, so the main action is back here at the front, as these two just go hammer and tong at the back end of this race. Shane is doing an awesome job to hold Evan off for as long as he has, because He is relentless with the way that he tries to get past this man. And he has got the nickname Mr. Consistent for a reason. But Shane is not buckling under the pressure, and he is trying to get that 6th dub home for the race win as they cross the line for the white flag. This is it. There's only one set of corners left to run as they go down the back straight. Evan has got anything left in the tank. Doesn't look like it. Shane gets through 3 and 4 nice and clean. What a race. What a race. Massive race there between those two guys. And it looks like Brad Wright come home 3rd overall in that one in the 8M. So, wow. Wow, what a final race for the evening that was. Awesome, awesome to see. So, Shane's going to grab the checkered flag there, do his victory lap, and wow, well deserved win that was. As you can see, he's pretty happy about it. Getting that front wheel up off the ground. Awesome, awesome, awesome race. So we'll get some results up on screen there now. And as he goes through and he does some donuts there in the background, look at that. Flame pumping out the exhaust. He's pretty happy, alright. So there we have it. Shane Hawkins comes home ahead of Evan Tidal. Brad Wright home in 3rd. Pete Wilson in 4th. Zane Riddick home in 5th ahead of Jeff McConey. The 12P of Sean Harold comes home ahead of Ryan Cooksley. And then Alex Curran ahead of Chris Bailey there. And then have we got another page? Yes, we have 2 more finishes there in the way of Dwayne Martin and Len Pluck. So that's how the Super Saloon Super Cup unfolded. This is our feature race from Waikaraka last week for the Auckland Champs. Thanks to Ups For You for the feature race sponsorship in that one. Family owned business and long time supporters of what we do here at the Dirtshop, and a massive shout out again for the investment that they've made to get us a new machine ready for the next year and the future here at the Dirtshop and what we're going to do. So here we go as the race unfolded. It was newbie up the wall, 4S of Pete Wilson and Ryan Cooksley. Bit of action going on there between them. Sean Harold got up on 2 wheels and he had a DNF as well late in the piece. It was a bit of an action-packed feature race. Brad Lane was keeping out of trouble, but he was sort of at the back of the field. But yes, he was still hooking up that 119 rocket nonetheless, and brought it home at the end of the night. But it was the 8P of Pete Taylor that came home at the end of the 20 laps and became the 2024 Auckland champ as a result. So there we have it. Once again, thanks to NZ Dirt Track Racing for tonight's feature race sponsorship and sharing our posts throughout the course of the week. It's good to have you on board, and as I said, you know, go through and find your local stockist, pick up the latest issue, and it makes a good stocking filler heading into the Christmas season and that. But from us here at the Dirt Shop, that's it this evening. Thanks to everybody that tuned in, and yeah, we hope we put on a good show. It was a little bit confusing there at times, but keep an eye out on the webpage later on in the week. We usually try and get the points up on a Tuesday evening, so we will have the confirmed official points and everything done then. But yeah, as it stands, it looks like Jeff McConey was the victor tonight. And then we had Sean Harold in second, and it looks to be Alex Curran there in third. So yeah, but anyway, have a good week all, and we'll see you again next week as we go racing from Kiki Speedway for the New Zealand title, and we find our 2024 Dirtshop Creations Inc. Super Saloons E-Series champion. Right, cheers guys, have a good week.